Hey everyone, and welcome. You know that feeling, right? That first gasp for air when you start a workout, the burn in your muscles, and then, eventually, that amazing feeling of getting stronger? Well, today, we're going to dive into the incredible science behind that transformation. We'll look at the amazing physiological journey your body takes when you decide to get moving.
So have you ever really stopped to wonder what's going on in there when you go from, couch potato to actually running the 5K? You lace up your shoes, you head out the door, it feels tough, and then maybe you find your rhythm. But what's actually happening inside? Deep down in your muscles, your heart, your very cells, this beautiful symphony of adaptation is playing out. So let's break it down, starting with what happens in the very first second you start to move.
All right, so the moment you launch into a sprint or lift a heavy weight, your body needs energy, and it needs it like right now. There's absolutely no time to wait for oxygen to start circulating or for complex fuels to break down. Fortunately, your body has a system for this. It's kind of like a biological instant-on power source.
Just think of this as your body's emergency power pack. Your muscles store a tiny amount of a molecule called ATP. That's the direct energy currency for everything you do. When you sprint, you spend that currency instantly. This system, the ATP PCR system, is like an instant recharger, rapidly rebuilding that ATP to give you a super powerful, explosive burst of energy. Seriously, it's like hitting the nitro boost in a race car. And this chart here visualizes the fundamental trade-off of exercise perfectly. That immediate nitro boost system gives you a ton of power, but it's pretty much gone in about 10 seconds. And that's it. That's the simple reason you can't just sprint at your top speed forever. As that first system fades out, your body is forced to switch gears to less powerful but much more sustainable energy sources.
So if that initial spark only lasts for a few seconds, how in the world do we keep going for a run that lasts minutes or even hours? Well, our bodies need to tap into the main engine room, a system that's built specifically for endurance.
And here we see the two basic ways your body produces energy. On the left, you've got anaerobic, which just means without oxygen. That's for your sprints. High power, quick fatigue. On the right, you have the aerobic system, with oxygen. This is your endurance engine. It's powered by a process with a very fancy name, oxidative phosphorylation. All you really need to know is that it's a super efficient process where your cells use oxygen to burn fuel, like fats and carbs, to create a massive, steady supply of energy for the long haul. And if the aerobic system is your endurance engine, how do you measure its horsepower? Well, that's where VO2 max comes in. It is arguably the single most important number for measuring your aerobic fitness. It represents how well your body can deliver and actually use oxygen to generate all that crucial long-term energy.
You know, having a great engine isn't enough. You also need a world-class delivery service to get the fuel, the oxygen, to that engine. And that's the job of your heart, your lungs, and your blood vessels. The cool part is, when you train, this whole delivery service gets a major upgrade.
This is just the perfect analogy. During exercise, your muscles are screaming for more oxygen. So, in response, your heart pumps faster and harder, and your blood vessels do this really clever thing where they reroute the flow of oxygen, almost like a traffic management system, directing it right where it's needed most. It's this dynamic, incredibly efficient logistics network happening inside you.
And these upgrades, they happen remarkably fast. This data shows the kind of changes you can see after just 10 days of training. Your cardiac output, that's the total blood pumped per minute, jumps up. But more importantly, look at the stroke volume. That's the amount of blood your heart pumps with each single beat. It goes way up. This means your heart doesn't just beat faster, it becomes fundamentally more powerful with every single pump.
And that's the crucial point right there. We're talking about a 15% increase in stroke volume in less than 2 weeks. It just shows you how remarkably adaptable the human body is. Your heart doesn't have to beat as crazy fast because each beat is now so much more effective, delivering more of what your muscles are begging for. It's a classic case of working smarter, not harder.
Those immediate upgrades are incredible, for sure. But if you stick with it, your body starts a full-on renovation project. It's not just tuning up the engine. It's literally rebuilding it from the ground up to be stronger and way more efficient for the long term.
And what a remodel it is. Your actual heart muscle grows stronger. Your body increases its plasma volume, which basically gives you a bigger tank of blood for better hydration and oxygen transport. Your muscles get more skilled at pulling oxygen from the blood. But maybe most importantly, the biggest changes happen deep down inside your cells. This right here, this is the microscopic secret to endurance.
With consistent training, your muscle cells build more mitochondria, the energy factories of your body. And if you have more factories, what happens? You can produce more energy more efficiently. This is why, over time, that same run starts to feel easier. You're not just improving your heart, you're fundamentally upgrading the energy-producing hardware inside every single one of your muscle cells.
Okay, so we've seen the what and the why. Now let's get to the how. The science doesn't just tell us what happens. It gives us a blueprint for how to make it happen effectively and safely.
This is probably the single most important rule in all of fitness. Your body is an adaptation machine. It gets better at handling whatever stress you put on it. So to keep improving, you have to progressively overload it. Think of it like learning. If you only read the same simple book over and over, you're never going to become a better reader. You have to gently push the boundaries to grow.
And here's a simple, science-backed way to put that principle into practice. By training in a target heart rate zone, you can make sure you're applying the right amount of stress to trigger all those positive adaptations. A simple way to get started is to estimate your max heart rate. Just take 220 and subtract your age, and then aim for a percentage of that, like 70% for moderate intensity. This simple calculation takes the guesswork out of it and lets you train smarter. So, there you have it. From an instantaneous chemical reaction to a long-term cellular remodel, getting fit is an incredible journey of adaptation. You're now equipped with the scientific blueprint. The only question left is, where are you going to take it?